Hey, what's going on? Thanks for joining me. I'm RJ. You are awesome. But this, not so much. Let's talk about it. This, hold on. Better. This is the Ils-400Fr from Iyv. Go ahead, say that 5 times fast. I dare you. We're going to take a look at this guitar. We're going to go over it from top to bottom, headstock to buttstock, and along the way, we're going to ask the question, does it suck? If that sounds good to you, then please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, consider becoming a member, and if you'd like to support what we do here, then support the vendors that support us, okay? Geico Guitar Parts, Guitar Tricks Online Guitar Lessons, and the RJ's Cave merch store, exclusive home to RJ's Cave merch and T's Guitars merch. You'll find each of the vendors' links and codes for discounts in the description. Oh, and by the way, the codes for RJ's Cave and T's Guitars expire December 13th. So get your holiday orders in early and get those discounts now. All right, so now, where were we? Oh yeah, the guitar. This guitar looks good, right? It's got a sleek, modern Les Paul style look like any good ESP LTD style guitar, and it's got tons of binding everywhere. And let's not forget about all the black hardware and the satin black finish, okay? Then there's the 25.5-inch scale length, the 24 frets, and the Floyd Rose. And those last three, well, they make this guitar a bit of a bastard. And I don't know about you, but I like a good bastard. Are you a bastard? Let's dig deeper. This guitar has 3 underside tuners, like any good LP style guitar. Only these tuners, they suck. But that's okay, right? I mean, after all, the guitar's got a Floyd Rose, so you got a locking nut. So the tuners don't matter. Of course they friggin' matter, because you still got to put strings on the freaking guitar in the first place and wind them up. Then use the lock, right? So of course, decent tuners matter. So this is a problem. But I digress. Back to the guitar. There's a volute on the back of the neck, which is nice because it helps these LP style guitars not lose their head. Stock, if you know what I'm saying. The neck profile on the back is nice. It's not your standard modern C neck profile. It's more of a modern D, and it's actually a little wider than what you would find on a modern C. Most of the time a modern C comes with a 42mm nut width, and this is more like 43 or 44. I'm not exactly sure, but I can definitely feel more comfortable playing cowboy chords on an Iyv than I do on my other guitars. And it's definitely not as thin either, but it's more of a standard. Earlier I said modern standard, but it's more of a standard thickness. So it's not a skinny neck, but it's not a huge neck either. It's nice. It's comfortable for someone with larger hands, for sure. As for the front side of the neck, the fretboard is rosewood. It's a bit dry, but the frets are actually fairly well done. They're not perfect. I give them a 4 out of 5 because there's still a little bit of the fret sprout on the edges near where the neck meets the body. But it's not too bad, and that's pretty much all there is as far as I can tell. I don't notice any buzzing or anything like that, so the fret job seems to be pretty good on this guitar. The frets are pretty well done. They're not stainless steel, and they don't have ball ends. But because the guitar has binding, you're not really getting a whole lot of problems with the fretwork. As for the fretboard itself, it's probably a 14 or 16. It's very flat. Flatter than anything else I have, so it's definitely around 14 to 16. Not exactly sure. Sorry. Now, when we move on to where the neck meets the body, this is where we encounter some issues, okay? This is where we see some lazy workmanship, some rushed workmanship, and yeah, it kind of brings down the guitar a little bit. You'll see in the pictures here that the paint is uneven. So that means the sanding underneath is uneven. The angle, if you're looking at it in person, you can see that the point where the neck meets the body is actually a little too well rounded and not like well defined. So, and it's uneven for sure. So there's definitely sanding that wasn't done. The binding down at the bottom of the neck looks like crap. At the neck heel, where there's supposed to be a nice piece of binding there, this one is just rough cut and glued in place as an afterthought, quite literally. Because the other two pieces of binding, the ones that run along the sides of the neck, they actually, one runs right down to the edge of the bottom of the neck, okay, which is actually a problem because it's supposed to be, it's supposed to have a bevel on it so that the piece that goes on the bottom of the neck heel can actually join up well like this, right? So that doesn't have it. But on the other side, it's worse because it actually extends well past that and doesn't have it either. And then they just took this rough cut piece, not even sanded, not even level with the fretboard, and they glued it in place on the front of the neck heel. And you could, I hope you can see it in the pictures because it really is disappointing. And it's very indicative of things that IYV has done in the past, at least for me. And this is going to bring up maybe another video. If you guys want to hear my stories and complaints about IYV, let me know in the comments. Maybe I'll make another video. So when we get past this, things get better. Okay, so now we can move on to the body, which let's talk about the finish right away. Okay, the finish on this whole guitar is a little rough. It's not smooth sanded at all. You can feel some of that hairy texture that you get when you put a finish on something and then don't sand it smooth after. There's almost a light hairiness to it. There's like speckles of paint that are just little bumps, tiny, tiny little bumps. And you can feel them all over the body and elsewhere on the neck. So I'm going to end up sanding this whole guitar down with maybe 1000 grit sandpaper just to make it a little bit smoother. But that'll be another day. Other than that, oh wait, no, I spoke too soon about the body. Things do get better, but not everywhere, okay? And that has to do with the binding on the body itself. When we get around to where you have the cutaway, that's a very sharp point. And it doesn't come together the way it's supposed to, because again, the bevel wasn't cut properly. It all looks rough inside. If you get a good close-up look, you can see that there's plastic that's broken away almost, or it looks like it was rough cut and never smoothed out and was just forced together like that. I could literally fill it in with some baking soda and some crazy glue, and that's probably what I'm going to do. So look for that in another video too. Maybe I'll do the sanding and all that together in a video. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see that. So pickups are good. Pickups aren't great, but the pickups are good. They're a little warm, but they're not horrible at all. I say they're a little warm because my amp is set up a certain way. And I had to actually change I had to bring up the treble and the mid-range in order to make it sound the way I wanted it to. That could just be different guitars. It's, things are a little different that way. Or it could be because of the pickups, but I don't think that they're really bad pickups. They're actually they have even output. I'm going to guess like 12, 13. They're not horribly high, but they're not quiet either. And my experience with IYV tells me that they're around 12K. So I'm not even going to bother like measuring that. So that's that. Take it as a guess, but it's an educated guess. And so they're pretty good. The controls are well set up. This guitar has the one thing I don't like in Les Paul guitars, and that's the switch up here on the horn. If that could be elsewhere, it would be a lot better. But other than that, yeah, that's how the guitar looks now. Let's hear how the guitar sounds. And of course, if we're going to hear the pickups, we should take a look inside the control cavities too. Now, before we talk about what we just heard, there's one more thing I got to mention. I forgot to talk about the Floyd Rose. Yeah, and the Floyd Rose on this one, it's a Floyd Rose special. It's actually pretty well machined, and the tolerances on it are pretty tight, actually, believe it or not. And I like it better than the Floyd Rose special that's on my Harley Benton S620. Okay, so now you guys can let me know what you think in the comments, okay? As for me, I think the guitar actually plays pretty good. I think it sounds pretty good. I think it needs a better setup. And I feel like it's really disappointing that this guitar got about 90% of the way to being right, and then it got rushed out of the factory to be sold as main stock, not B stock, right? I mean, between the unfinished paint, the sloppy neck joint, and the sloppy binding on the neck heel, you know, it takes away from an otherwise good guitar. So when it comes to the question, does it suck? I gotta say, no, but proceed with caution, because this guitar suffers from a lot of the same issues that other Iyv guitars have in the past, at least in my experience. Between the rushed finish on the paint job, the sloppy neck heel, the poor work on the binding, it just takes away from an otherwise good guitar, right? Now, with all that said, if this guitar is on your radar and you have the skills and the willingness to tend to the needs that it may or may not have out of the box, then absolutely pick it up. It's actually not a bad guitar. But if you're someone buying a first guitar, or you're buying someone else a first guitar, proceed with caution, because you're probably going to want to put this guitar into the hands of someone who can take a look at it before you give it as a gift. Okay? And you're going to have to consider that kind of expense if you have to pay for it, or go looking for a friend, you know, and get a favor, right? But the difference is making sure that this guitar is going to help somebody make that start on their music journey, or get them frustrated to the point where they put it away. That really can be the difference sometimes. So proceed with caution. Consider that you may have to spend a little more money than just buying the guitar to make it right. For me, I think you're going to be seeing this guitar around here for a while, because I'm going to be using it as a project guitar for sure. And eventually, who knows, maybe I'll end up giving it away like a lot of the other guitars around here. That's going to do it for this one. You've been awesome. I've been RJ. Until the next one, take it easy.